Mr. Imaginary Cameraman, the other day I heard some really sad news. I heard that an old friend of mine had become addicted to brake fluid. I didn't know you could become addicted to brake fluid. He said he can stop whenever he wants, but I just think he's in denial. Oh, hello everyone, Brian Richards here. I apologize. I was busy talking to my imaginary cameraman, but I know you didn't come here to watch me shoot the breeze with him. You came here to learn another self-working card trick. And actually, the trick I'm going to teach you is really cool. You can actually have 3 cards selected, and then you can find all 3 cards in a really cool, entertaining way. And the best part is there's no sleight of hand. It's totally self-working. It works out mathematically, as we like to say, in the business. So, get out a deck of cards, and let's get into today's tutorial. For this trick, you have a deck of cards shuffled. It could be totally shuffled. It doesn't matter. They can shuffle it any way they want. Okay? They can even do the old 52 pickup. No, don't let them do that. That's a drag. So they shuffle it, shuffle it, shuffle it. Doesn't matter. You take the cards back, whatever. You allow 3 different people to choose a card. So let's say one person chooses this card, another person chooses this card, and maybe volunteer number 3 chooses this card. Now, for the sake of our tutorial, we're going to know what these are. Of course, normally as a magician, I would not know what they are. One of them is the 5 of hearts, one of them is the 10 of clubs, and one of them is the 4 of diamonds. Okay? So each volunteer is remembering their own card. I shuffle these cards again one more time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a small packet of cards here, and I'm going to make another small packet of cards, I guess, over here, and then one more small packet of cards here, just like that. We'll put these aside for just a moment. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have volunteer number 1. They can pick up this pile. They can shuffle this pile as much as they want. And then I invite them to take their chosen card, put it on top, and then this is amazing. They can take any amount of cards off of this pile, shuffle them, and then put them on top over here, losing their card. Then volunteer number 2 can pick up this pile, shuffle these cards, place their card, in this case the 10 of clubs, on top, and they can then take any amount of cards off of this pile, shuffle them, and put them on top, losing their chosen card. Then finally, volunteer number 3 gets to shuffle this last pile. They place their chosen card on top, and then I give them this remaining stack of cards, which they shuffle, and then they put on top of their card, losing their card as well. We then gather all the cards together, and I explain that now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and forth making a pile of cards that are both face up and face down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask them to look and see if they see their card in the face up pile. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and forth, and I ask all 3 volunteers to see if they see their card in this pile. We go back and forth, all the way through until we get to the end. And here's what's amazing. All 3 volunteers will not see their card in the face-up pile. I'm going to go all the way through, until you get to the end. Then you pick up the pile that's face down, and you're going to start all over again. You're going to always do face up, then face down, face up, face down. And again, you ask them to look to see if they see their card in this pile. Of course, they will not see their card. Then you pick up this pile and you start all over again. Face up, face down, face up, face down, face up, face down, face up, face down. Going to go all the way through. And obviously, this pile is getting smaller and smaller. Face up, face down, face up, face down, until guess what? You get down to 3 last cards. And my friends, I think you know what's going to happen. This is the amazing part. All 3 cards will be their chosen cards. How insanely crazy is that? Isn't math amazing? Okay, so it does work out mathematically, but let me just show you the handling so that you do it right. But again, there's no sleight of hand. Just it's all math. It's all math. So here is how to do this trick. Again, the deck cards can be shuffled. Now, by the way, make sure you have all 52 cards. Like any math trick, you got to make sure you play with a full deck. Make sure you're playing with a full deck of cards. If you don't play with a full deck, many people say I don't, but if you don't play with a full deck, you need a full deck. If you have a joker, take them out. You need all 52 cards, exactly 52 cards for this trick to work. Now, the cards can be shuffled. Doesn't really matter. That was a very ugly shuffle, but that's fine. The cards can be shuffled, and then what you're going to do is you're going to allow 3 cards to be selected. And this really is a free choice. There's no forcing. We'll say this one gets picked and this one gets picked. Now, by the way, whenever you're doing a card trick that involves 3 cards being chosen and memorized, please don't ever do these tricks for one person. We don't have memories that can handle that. People have a hard enough time remembering 1 card, let alone 3. So this is a trick you want to make sure you have at least 3 people that you're performing for, so that every person can memorize their own card. In this case, 1 is the 3 of diamonds, 1 is the 9 of spades, and 1 is the 9 of hearts. So 2 9s, 3, we can remember that. 3 diamonds, 9 of spades, 9 of hearts. Now the rest of the deck again can be shuffled, and here's what you're going to do. You're gonna make 3 piles, starting with your right side, and the first pile's got to have 15 cards in it. So I grab 5, and then I grab another 5, and then another 5. So there's 15 cards in this pile. Then the pile in the middle is also going to have 15 cards. So you're going to go 5, 5, and 5, like that. And then this last pile, the pile on your left, is going to have 10. So you're going to go 5 and 5. And then this last stack should have 9 cards left. You're just going to put them aside. Now, at this point, you're just going to do what I did in the performance. You ask volunteer number 1 to take this first pile, the pile that has 10 cards in it, to shuffle them up, to take their chosen card, put it on top, and they can take any amount, and it really doesn't matter. That's what makes this so amazing. Any amount of cards off of here, they can shuffle them and put them on top of their card, which is losing their card into the packet. And then volunteer number 2 is going to take pile number 2 and shuffle that up. And then they're going to take their chosen card, put it on top, and they can, again, take any amount of cards. It doesn't matter. This is how many cards in this case. It doesn't really matter. They shuffle it, and they put it on top of that middle pile, on top of their card, losing their card into the deck. And then finally, volunteer number 3 does the same thing with pile number 3 over here. They place their card on top, and then I give them this remaining stack of the 9 cards. They shuffle them, and they put them on top there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the pile on your right, and you put it on top of the middle pile, and then you're going to put that on top of the left pile. Now, once you're here, there's one more thing you have to do before this is going to work out automatically. You have to get the top 4 cards to the bottom of the deck. And so the best way to do that is you explain to your audience what you're going to do. So I explain that I'm going to go back and forth making 2 piles. One will be face up and one will be face down. And I'm going to ask you to see if any of you see your chosen card in this face up pile. Now, after you've done this 2 times, you've taken the 4 cards, you flip this over, put that on top, and you put the remaining pack on top. Now everything is set and ready to work completely mathematically. You're going to go face up and face down, face up, face down, face up, face down. Always start with face up, by the way. You're going to go all the way through. And of course, they're not going to see their chosen card in the face up pile. They're just not going to see it there. You're going to go all the way through, until you get to the very end. And of course, as you remember in the performance, as you keep doing this, this pile gets smaller and smaller. So I pick up the face up, face down pile, and again, I always start face up, face down, face up, face down. You're gonna go all the way through until you get to the end. And again, you're inviting them to keep an eye on that pile, see if they see their cards. Of course they won't. And this is what's amazing. As you do this, you're going to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until you get to the point where you will have only 3 cards left. And this is really amazing. Those 3 cards will, of course, be their chosen cards every time. Isn't that cool? I love that trick. Totally self-working, works mathematically, and no sleight of hand, nothing. Really, and you can even do it with a borrowed deck of cards. Just make sure you have all 52 cards. But super fun. Well, if you enjoyed this trick, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And do hit like and do subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Oh, and by the way, just don't forget, there is a membership section if you want to learn some more advanced magic, getting into some sleight of hand stuff. I am constantly adding more videos there as well. It's pretty reasonable, and it will take you to the next level, if you will. Also over there, you may find a video or two you may want to check out to continue to learn some more self-working card tricks. And last and certainly not least, I hope you have an amazing day.